Hello everybody and welcome to another Minecraft video brought to you by Rob's Mind, and today we are checking out another viewer suggestion from 69k subscribers without uploading challenge, which is quite a mouthful but still a pretty cool name. Anyways, this is the contraption we've got here. It is an infinite villager breeder. I've been designing it for the past couple of days. What you do is you chuck a couple of villagers in there. They eventually go to the composters, well, practically immediately, and adopt the farming profession. All you've got in here are composters, beds, and a bell. Now these guys will get that profession. They will go through and start immediately picking the carrots, and then sharing the carrots with one another. Once they've decided that they've got enough food, they've also got enough beds, then they will start being happy enough to actually start breeding in this thing. So, as you can see, they've been harvesting the carrots, they've been tossing it to one another. I don't know if we can really see that from here very clearly, but now you can see they are already breeding, and I have not even sped this thing up even 1 second or anything. So the next thing they're going to do is they will produce a baby. That baby will be running around, kind of going crazy. He will eventually go into one of these little slots that we've got with trapdoors on the sides. He will then fall down into this water chamber, which will push him to the center, and will fall down to this minecart here, which will travel him 160 blocks away. I have read that they may only need 80 blocks, but I have not tested that theory, so go for it and let me know down in the comments section. But now let's get into how to build this thing. Over here I have 2 chests. The one on the left contains what you need to build it without the minecart system, and on the right contains the extra materials for the minecart. You'll need 3 stacks of glass plus 38 blocks, 40 stone blocks of your choice, 70 dirt, 70 carrots, 2 stacks of half slabs plus 39, 5 glowstone, 10 trapdoors, 2 signs, an infinite water source, 16 beds, 8 composters, 1 bell, and 1 hoe. It has to be a diamond hoe. No, that's really, it's a joke. It doesn't have to be a diamond hoe, but really, who doesn't have a diamond hoe? But let's just grab all these materials. Over here are the extra materials if you want to build the minecart system, and if you want it to be 160 blocks away. 2 chests, 1 hopper, 1 redstone, 1 dispenser, 1 detector rail, 18 powered rails, 2 stacks of regular rails plus 16, 2 stacks of blocks plus 43, and then 18 levers to power your powered rails. Then you will also need 68 minecarts if you want to fill up the double chest, the hopper, and the dispensers. So that's quite expensive. I don't know how many you would want to put in there, but it takes 68 to fill them up. Oh, and as you can see, 2 of the villagers actually just got spat out into the minecarts. We'll just follow them over here. Got a few in the little chamber over there already. So now let's get back over here. I'm just pillaring this thing up. Like I said, you can tower this thing 160 blocks up and just drop them 160 blocks down. That does work. But I'm going to choose to show you guys the rail setup. So I've got the block up here, and I'm going to go 1 block up and then surround that in a 3x3 area. Then we will come out from the centers 4 blocks from this, or 3 blocks from this, I'm sorry, so it'll be 4 in total from the hole in the center. That will leave us with a 9x9 square. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in real quick. So now that we are finished with that, we're going to go ahead and grab our water bucket and throw a water bucket right there in the center. Then you're going to put a half slab right there. I'll remove the half slab just to show that it does not remove the water block by placing the half slab there, so all of this dirt is actually hydrated. So the next thing I'm going to do is surround this with stone bricks, but you can choose whatever block you want. As with all of these builds, the decoration preference is obviously up to you guys. So next I'm going to go ahead and get out my hoe and the composters, and we are going to go ahead and till all of this soil and plant all of the carrots. We will go ahead and do that real quick. all of this soil will be totally hydrated. And then we'll plant our carrots. You guys can use wheat or potatoes as well. I just think carrots probably a pretty good choice. Wheat, I think, takes the longest to grow, but villagers need the least bread. I don't know. I don't know. However you guys want to do this, I'm just choosing to use carrots. Then we're going to place composters, one on every corner and one on every center. So just kind of eyeball it with that half slab in the center. And you'll end up with something that kind of looks like this. After that, we're going to go ahead and grab beds and a bell. Like I said, you'll need 16 beds. Really, you only need 6 beds total to get this to work. But I would go ahead and probably throw in the beds. They're not that expensive anyways, and it'll just help you just in case you get villagers that don't end up falling out of this system and they grow up, and then it'll just help you not have too many villagers in your farm. But so I go ahead and place the beds just kind of like that, just kind of foot to foot, so the heads go against the composters. And then I'm going to build up a 3-high wall of glass. You guys can use whatever you want. We are going to make sure that this is totally lit up anyways, so it does not need to be built with glass. I am just using the glass so that we can all see in there, and I'm not going to lie, if I was in survival, I would probably make the walls glass anyways, just because I like to do that with kind of passive mob farms like villagers and stuff like that. But so we'll go ahead and wrap this up, building these walls. And then we'll end up with something that looks kind of like this. After that, we are going to go ahead and grab some half slabs. We're going to do some work with some half slabs. But first, we're going to take this and cut out 5 blocks on each side. Go 1 block away from the bell. Go 5 blocks. Make sure it's kind of centered like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third block is centered up with the bell. So there we go. Then I place trapdoors just like this. And you don't have to place them on the top of the block and close them like that. You have to have them all closed, or, you know, open, of course, so that the villagers don't just walk on top of them. But, you know, they don't have to be on the top side of every block. I'm just kind of perfectionist like that. Next thing we are going to do is go ahead and place half slabs just kind of on the top of this block here, all the way around. And that is just so that the villagers don't trample all of the crops. They don't need to get to this anyways. They can still use the composters just fine. They can get access to the beds just fine. So it's kind of unnecessary to have them just jumping all over the place and trampling all of the crops. After that, we're going to go ahead and build up and get some half slabs over this. I just put it right there, so at the top side of 2 blocks, so that way a full-sized villager doesn't walk through there, but the baby villagers have no problem flying right through there. So now that we have all of that done, we're going to go ahead and grab some glass again. Go to the bottom of this, and we're just going to kind of build a frame around this. It can be a 2-high frame. I just made this 3-high. It doesn't really matter. It can be 2-high. They're going to land in water anyways. It can be 10-high. They're not going to take any damage from this. So we'll just go ahead and have that built just like that, and then we'll put a floor on this. I would recommend having an escape route planned if you are doing this in survival, which, like I say, I don't know why you'd be doing this in creative, other than just for fun or to test it for your survival world. But after that, we're going to go ahead and place signs. Probably would be a smarter idea than putting water there. First, we're going to place signs in that middle block so that we don't dump water all over the place. So there we go. I got signs. Place 1 there, 1 on top of it. Just like that. That's all done. Place 1 block of water in every single corner. And then there you go. That is all done right there. Fill that back in. And then I'm just going to kind of temporarily build this down a couple of blocks, this little tube. I will destroy most of this in a second. Next, we are going to go ahead and grab a few villagers. You guys in survival will have to get them in here probably with a hopper minecart or something like that, so keep that in mind whenever you are building this, or not a hopper minecart, just a regular minecart. You'll need to get these guys up here somehow is my point. But anyways, after you get at least 2 of them up here, if you do have 2 up here, I would recommend closing your trapdoors and letting 2 of the babies grow up into adults before you reopen the trapdoors so that the babies can start falling through this system. But anyways, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, probably placing the villagers in right now is probably not the best idea to do in survival. I would probably save the roof for last, now that I'm thinking about this. But, well, I'm just going to tell you guys that now, because I'm just now thinking about this. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, and not only that, your baby villagers are probably going to be falling to their deaths, or at least close to it. But the glowstone pattern goes something like that. It goes the 3rd block from every corner, and then 1 in the center. That should keep everything totally lit up so no mobs will spawn here even at night. I'm going to go ahead and set the random tick speed to 1000 so all of our carrots grow instantly and these guys start, you know, grabbing their food and doing their thing. And this is pretty much me just doing one more visual demonstration of how fast this farm will start to produce you baby villagers. They've already adopted their farming trades, harvested their food, and now look at that. Immediately, they are breeding. And this will continue to happen if all these villagers, the baby villagers, get out of here rapidly. This will continue to happen. But those of you that don't want to do the redstone aspect of this, I suppose you'll probably be leaving the video, but on your way out, please do hit that like button, leave me a comment, and subscribe. Now, those of you that stuck around for the redstone aspect of this, bravo, because I do love redstone. We are going to go ahead and grab our redstone components and our rails, and we are going to go back up here and begin construction on this thing. So I'm going to clear out a lot of this glass so that you guys can see what I'm actually doing. We are going to actually have these villagers falling down 3 blocks. So I'll show that now. 1, 2, 3. That 3rd block is going to be a whatever block. It just can't be a transparent block such as glass. It has to be a solid block so that our minecart will bounce back up. Then we're going to go ahead and build 2 blocks out, and then 1 block up diagonally, and then another block up diagonally from that, and that will be the top part of this rail. You can have it go out 160 blocks from there. Next, we're going to place 1 powered rail, 2 regular rails, powered rail up at the top, just like that, and then we will power these rails. I'm just going to use levers. You can choose whatever power method you want. I just think levers are the cheapest and easiest. The next thing that we're going to do is grab ourselves a block, place it right there next to that regular rail, and put a dispenser spitting right at that rail. The next thing we're going to do is fill that with as many minecarts as you would like. I would recommend at least filling your dispenser, or else, you know, you won't have that many villagers getting stored from this thing. Go ahead and place a hopper running into the back of that dispenser right there. After that, we'll go ahead and wire this up so that the minecart redispenses once a villager comes out. You'll place a detector rail there with a block coming diagonally from the detector rail. Place a piece of redstone on top of that block, and then a block next to the piece of redstone, which will also be next to the dispenser. So whenever the minecart, which we are about to place right there, gets enough momentum and travels down the line, it will hit that detector rail, which is essentially a pressure plate with a minecart track, and it will redispense a new minecart there for the next baby villager. After that, this is how I pattern my rail setup. I go ahead and place 9 regular rails, then a powered rail. So every 10th rail is your powered rail, and then that also gives you a good judge on how far to travel with this thing, because you'll need to go about 160 blocks away, or if you're going to try the 80 block method, you know, you could just set it up so that it's 8 blocks like that. But then we'll go ahead and load up this right here. Oh, looks like we're going to have to break this one piece of glass right up here. They was getting hung up on that, and that will bounce our minecart up and down just like that. After that, we'll just go ahead and fill this in so that even if a baby villager gets down and starts running, they won't just fall out of here. And then we will go ahead and place our double chest right up here. That you can fill in with as many minecarts as you want, or as many minecarts as you have the iron for. But that is all there is to it, so if you did find this video useful, please do hit that like button, leave me a comment, and please do subscribe to the channel. It helps me a whole lot. This has been Rob's Mind, and I'm out. Oh, and also, if you have any redstone building ideas, go ahead and leave those in the comments section as well. I do work on them. Goodbye, everybody.